Welcome to nothing you can say, where the rules just drift away.
Welcome to There Is Nothing You Can Say podcast. Today we're really getting into the architecture of language, specifically how it builds and sometimes challenges our closest relationships. We've got some unique source material today, excerpts from a conversation between two life partners, Olivia and Liam. It's called The Power of Words in Love and Life. So our mission really is to unpack how words work within a relationship. You know, how they build things up, create tension, but also ultimately strengthen those bonds. Here is a passage that Olivia wrote during a moment of conflict. It goes as follows. I told him once, in the hush of a quarrel that felt like the end, I'm leaving you, and there's nothing you can say to change my mind. And for a moment, I believed it, believed in the clean finality of my words, the sharp edge of silence that follows a verdict. But then he spoke, not to change my mind, but to open his own. He told me he did not think that was the love he was living in, that he thought I was someone who would stay and speak, just as he would. But if I truly meant to go, he would let me, and if ever I turned back, he would be there, still willing to speak. There is a strange sanctity in such words. Nothing clever or rehearsed, nothing to impress the crowd. There remains the simplest speech, the trembling confession that holds two souls together. It is here, in this almost silence, that we come to know what kind of love we are really in. Not the kind that talks to be right or to fill the air, but the kind that speaks because it cannot bear to close the door. Wow.
Beautifully said.
What's the first thing that really jumps out at you about them?
Well, right away, it's how they talk about communication. It's not just like important, they call it the key, a guiding light. It feels very foundational, almost like the relationship's operating system, if that makes sense.
Yeah, like it's not just a feature, it's the core code.
Exactly. And that framing, it sets us up for something deeper than just, tips for talking better. It's more personal.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And thinking about personal journeys, Olivia shares hers pretty early on. She talks about struggling sometimes to articulate things out loud
Mm-hmm.
and how writing became her, well, her sanctuary, her way to express her innermost ideas and feelings.
Which is fascinating, isn't it? Because it immediately raises that question. What happens when partners have different comfort zones like that one writes, or that one maybe talks more easily?
Right? And she actually says finding that writing outlet bridged any gaps in understanding. That's pretty powerful. Shows adaptation is key.
Definitely. And then you have Liam. His story with language starts way back, roots in his childhood, as they put it. He grew up with English as his second language, faced some challenges, he says, but it also broadened his view.
And he explored writing too, didn't he? Like text composition and even poetry.
Yeah, dabbled in it, which might suggest, he wasn't just using words, he was thinking about how they work, their structure, their feel,
That could explain a lot, especially when Olivia points out his playful side,
right? The toying with words, sometimes leaving people bewildered.
which sounds like it could be tricky, but she actually appreciates it, calls it a cognitive challenge.
It's such an interesting dynamic. It shows how different styles don't have to clash. They can actually add another layer to the connection.
So their individual histories with language sort of intertwine together, but what about when things get tough, when disagreements come up?
Mm-hmm.
Olivia brings up something really significant there.
Yeah, that fear of being manipulated with words. That's a heavy one.
It really is. I think a lot of people can probably relate to that fear on some level.
Absolutely. And it points straight to that dual nature of language. Words aren't neutral. They can build connection, heal.
Yeah.
They can also control, twist things, and cause real pain.
So that trust,
Yeah,
trusting the intent behind the words becomes crucial.
utterly paramount. Without it, language shifts from being a bridge to potentially being a weapon and can be a source of vulnerability.
I can see that it underlines how much rests on that foundation of trust. But then, there's this shift, a real turning point. Olivia describes Liam saying something, words that resonated with the core of who I am.
Mm-hmm.
She felt they had this depth of meaning unlike anything before, and it, quote, shifted something deep within me.
Wow, that's language going beyond just information transfer, isn't it?
Exactly, it's transformative.
And what's really telling is Liam's take on that same kind of moment. He talks about sincerity, that when words are used with sincerity and understanding, that's when they can heal, connect, and crucially allow someone to feel truly heard.
Truly heard. That feels different from just listening.
It's profound. It's that feeling of being seen, understood at your core. That's what really cements a bond far more than just, agreeing on logistics. It's resonance.
Resonance. I like that. And it seems this wasn't just a one time thing for them. Liam's patience comes up again and again. It's called instrumental.
Right, and getting through conflicts, helping them come out stronger.
He even says every challenge only strengthens our bond, which sounds ideal, but
Yeah,
how do you cultivate that patience, especially when things are heated? Is it just who he is or something they built?
that's the $1,000,000 question, isn't it?
Yeah,
The sources seem to suggest it's less about a specific technique, maybe, and more about maybe a shared discipline.
a commitment.
Yeah, like his patience shows, it's not just about finding the perfect words, it's the underlying stuff. Patience, yes, but also that mutual commitment to growing through the tough spots.
So seeing conflict not as an ending, but as part of the process.
Exactly as an opportunity, almost a catalyst for deeper understanding. It makes it a mutual journey. Both partners have to bring that willingness to stay in it, to work through it. That's what turns conflict from something destructive into something constructive, something that actually builds strength. They also state the importance of knowing when to leave a relationship. There is no working through abuse. It is important to differentiate between a safe relationship and one which isn't, or simply when it is time to walk away. For example, at the start of their relationship, they were very clear that any cheating would lead to the end of the relationship.
For Olivia and Liam, they are able to use conflict they face in their relationship as a catalyst. Okay, that reframes it powerfully, not just enduring conflict, but using it. So, stepping back and thinking about all this, for you listening right now, what does it spark? Considering the power of words in your own life, your own relationships, what resonates from Olivia and Liam's deep dive? Their experiences with writing versus talking, the playful challenges, those moments of fear, but also those profound shifts from sincere words.
Mm-hmm.
How does that connect with your own understanding of communication?
It really leaves you thinking, doesn't it? This idea that words aren't just tools, they're more like architects. They're actively shaping the structures of our connections, for better or worse.
Architects, yeah. That really captures it, and it brings us back to Olivia's experience, that deep internal shift. It makes you wonder if one moment, just one, of truly sincere, resonant words, combined with that ongoing patience, can fundamentally change the feeling within a relationship. How often do we really pause? How often do we consider the architectural weight, the impact of the words we choose every day, and the patience, or maybe lack of patience, we offer alongside them? It's definitely something powerful to carry with you as you navigate the language, the architecture of your own life and love. And that's it, folks.
And if you've made it this far, well, clearly there was something we could say. Until next time, may your words be few, your silences deep, and your X's respectfully distant.
Thanks for tuning in. There is Nothing You Can Say podcast.